Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Unity Spiritual Community in Citrus Heights. Whether you're joining us at the Sylvan Community Center in person or on our Zoom session, which we have every Sunday, or maybe just watching our Facebook Live, you are part of this spiritual family, and we hold you in our hearts, and we hold you in our prayers. And so it is. Amen. So we'll begin our service by sharing today's daily word. Today is Sunday, August the 27th, 2023. And the words for today are world peace. I join with others to build a peaceful world. I join with others to build a peaceful world. The world's problems can feel so overwhelming and its needs so great that I may wonder how my individual efforts could make much of a difference. But every action I take can contribute to world peace. I remember there are people throughout the world who feel the way I do. So many are doing what they can to bring light and love to their neighborhoods and communities. I feel comforted realizing I am not alone in my efforts. Peace begins with each person and inspires others as it spreads, uniting all the world's people to live and thrive in harmony and cooperation. We are meant to live in peace. I hold that vision and offer compassionate service as a way to make my dream for world peace a reality for all of us. And the scripture for today is from Romans 14:19. Let us then pursue what makes for peace and for mutual upbuilding. And the words for today are world peace. And now we invite you to stand as Lisa leads us in growing love.
Together
And so I'm going to tell you when to change the slides, and I'll just use the pointer on the old one. Good morning again, everybody. This week's idea, which is there is a different way of seeing. This week's idea can be applied to events ranging from the mundane to the miraculous. And our first example concerns the kitchen wallpaper in my first house in Orlando. And I was a new homemaker and excited about creating the place of my dreams, which included having a blue kitchen with floral accents. The problem was that the kitchen was papered in chartreuse and white plaid. And the landlady was not open to my changing it. So I lay on the sofa in the next room. I could see into the kitchen looking at that wallpaper, pouting and praying. And as I did this, my view of the kitchen shifted. And I imagined my collection of copper utensils, measuring cups, and how they would look just popping against that chartreuse and that copper. It's a wonderful combination. And I was given a new vision of my dream kitchen, and all was well. There was a different way of seeing it. I called up the landlady and told her about my miraculous breakthrough. She was not impressed. Why are you bothering me with this? I already told you weren't going to change it. Another type of example, next slide please, of different ways of seeing has to do with some of the popular optical illusions. I chose three that you may be quite familiar with. The one on the left, is it a young woman who is looking away and you just see her chin here and her ear, the feather in her hat? Or is it an old woman? And this is her nose, and this is her mouth down there. It's one of those optical illusions that can be both or either. This one in the upper right-hand corner, is it a duck or is it a rabbit? And the one in the bottom right-hand corner, is it a vase or is it the profiles of two people who are facing each other? These are oldies but goodies. How many of you recognize these particular ones? Yeah. So I have one more. Next one, please. This has a baby in the trees. It's a little bit trickier. I'll give you a minute to look at it. It's a very pretty picture. It's also a very pretty baby. And it's maybe not where you expect it to be. All right? This is a big baby. This is the face. This is his arm and hand. Go around to his tummy. And here are his feet up here. And here's the little bottom and his back, like he's cradled. You see the baby now? Yeah, that one was a little bit trickier. And I'm just going to leave that slide up for the rest of the featurette because I think it's pretty. I'll give you something to look at. Another example of a different way of seeing is when you don't have all the information. This happened to me recently. I was working with the folks down at Lightweaver when I participate in their full moon rituals, and I do little presentations for them, and they are often led by Titch the Witch. And I didn't think that he liked me. He didn't return my phone calls, and he wasn't real responsive when I talked to him. So I talked to the owner of the shop about it. not blaming him, but wanting to do better with him. And she said he is actually a very likable and easy to get along with person, but his sister just died. He was in grief. It didn't have anything to do with me. I was missing some information. And learning the rest of the story is perhaps the most common reason for seeing things differently. Closely related to learning the rest of the story is just listening to another person's viewpoint, sharing your feelings with a friend, and being surprised that the friend reacted differently to the same situation. Perhaps because they had a different childhood than you did, had different triggers, had different filters. And this kind of sharing and listening will remind you that different people can just have different ways of seeing things. Now, so far, we've moved through simple worldly examples of seeing things differently. But this paradigm buster can be applied much deeper and to metaphysical ideas. So I share with you from A Course in Miracles, and these are the daily lessons, 1 and 2. This is the bedrock of A Course in Miracles. Lesson 1, nothing I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place, means anything. Lesson 2, I have given everything I see in this room, on the street, etc., all the meaning that it has for me. A Course in Miracle questions the very act of seeing and its role in creating the way we perceive the world. So on a practical level, try to remember that it is okay to change your mind. It's okay to change your mind about how something looks. And we're going to discuss that idea further during our talk, that is on mind action, later in today's service. So we've reached the end of our series of Paradigm Busters. We began with both and covered maybe I don't know, as well as what if I did know, and wrapped it up today with there's a different way of seeing this. These are all simple tools that can change the way you understand and interact with the world. So place them in your spiritual toolbox and use them often. And thus ends the Featurette. God bless you all.
All right, we have a song, and this is a song by Mark Stanton Welch, who's one of our favorite Youth of Unity spiritual leaders, and he does a lot of songs that are affirmations. So this one is called Power. You might listen to it once, and then we'll do it together. I stand here in my power, I am fully realized, I am free of limitations, I am holy, I'm divine, with endless energy and talent, I manifest my dreams, all my cells are in alignment, I'm as God created me, I am, I am, I am. at this time, we draw our attention to the prayer box in the lobby where we have left our prayer requests, our concerns for ourselves and our loved ones and for the world. We do invite you to leave your prayer requests there or to pray with either Sylvia or I after the service. We're the prayer chaplains who are here today. And we also have a prayer circle following the service, so I hope you'll stay for that. You may call Silent Unity anytime. That's our parent organization. And now let us draw together into our heart space, breathing into all of those requests for healing, for peace, for love, whatever is on our hearts today. Knowing that with the divine supply of the Christ Spirit, it is done and it is so. And so we release these requests and we say, Amen. All right. And now please prepare with me for a time of meditation. Spirit, guide me deep inside me. Take me to my heart place, the place of ease and grace. Breathe in this moment, this sacred moment. I am peace. I am renewed.
Let us relax as we share a time of meditation. We allow the energy of this sacred time to soothe us, opening our hearts and minds to the comfort and upliftment of this Sunday celebration. We meet each week to reaffirm our commitment to the path of spirit. We are reminded, literally transforming our thoughts so that they are congruent with God-mind. We honor the covenant of our lives, that we put God first, that we turn to God first, that we acknowledge God as the source of all good, that we realize the innate divinity in ourselves and others, and that we hold all of life to be sacred. We choose to live with a mindful awareness of this covenant. We are awake within our lives, knowing that each life is both a gift and a responsibility. We act out of our higher selves, cognizant of our role as the earthly expression of the divine. In choosing this path, we feel our connection with those who have come before us, the hundreds of generations of men and women who trod upon this planet, each seeking the fullness of life, the fullness of spirit. We follow in the footsteps of other spiritual pilgrims throughout the ages. We seek a conscious connection with God, with the Christ, and with each other. We know that we are not alone. We are supported in our quest. We were designed for success, and we can trust the beneficent universe into which we were born. Let us feel this support, feel the absolute rightness of our lives in this time and in this place as we share a few moments in the silence. Returning our awareness to this gathering, we go forth with a renewed sense of commitment, peace, and joy, now and forevermore. Amen.
Someone told me that it's hard to find love. Gotta be good enough. Then maybe someday, if you're lucky, someone showed me there's no reason to try. We can only get by. All the hard work is for nothing, and I say no, no, no. That's not the way it goes. I have everything I want and need here inside of me. When you're gripping, it's time to be still. Let go of your will and your where and why and when. If you're slipping, remember your guide. Make peace with the right. And when fear comes round again, you can say no, no, no. That's not the way it goes. I have everything I want and need
Don't blame me, Lisa picked out the picture. But I love camels, and I think she probably did it for me, for my love of camels. Today's talk is called Believing is Seeing. And as we begin, we need to clarify the difference between big T and little t truth. We refer to those things frequently, and we probably don't explain them often enough for newcomers. And then, as a divine synchronicity would have it, after I finished this talk, I got on Facebook, just to while away the hours. And I came right across this quote from Myrtle Fillmore. And she said, "You are spirit and you are truth." And truth is capitalized. Truth sets you free from pain. Truth opens your ears to hear. Truth makes you willing to do. You are Almighty God's useful and prosperous child. I bid you go in peace. Myrtle Fillmore and her husband Charles were the co-founders of the Unity Movement. So, little t truths include statements like, "It's been a hot summer. You're wearing a nice dress. My dog has fleas." Or, "I'm angry with my neighbor." Big T truths are the same as God's laws or divine principles. Big T truth is eternal and unchanging. Unity's 5 principles, because we are at the end of a series on these 5 basic principles, are all big T truths. There are other big T truths. They would include God's love is unconditional. You are eternal and infinite. As you sow, so shall you reap. All things happen for good, and there are no victims. So the big T truth that we're working with today is the creative power of mind. It's the third of the 5 principles. It's called the law of mind action, and we sometimes describe it as thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. The creative power of thought is, in effect, both individually and in our mass consciousness. Basic examples of mass beliefs are, here's the 2 big ones, time and space. They're not real. There are the mediums in which we create our reality that we agree on when we're born. We agree to these beliefs in order to incarnate into 3D reality. Other examples of mass beliefs could include the pandemic, although even then there were bubble realities within the greater effect, and individuals experience the mass event according to their personal beliefs. This talk is primarily about individual beliefs. So, if I may have the second slide. This is the circle of belief, and it's a diagram of the interchange between our inner world of beliefs and thoughts and our outer world of physical form and expression. And one way of looking at it is as if the outer world is like a blank screen upon which we project the world of form according to our beliefs about ourselves and about the world of form. So if we look at this diagram, we see the belief here, and the feeling, and the belief, and the event. Because they're all interconnected. It starts with the belief, but beliefs are supercharged by feelings. The ones that are strongest and have the most impact are ones that you have strong feelings about. And when you hold that belief with that feeling, then you are responsible for it being reflected in an event in the world. So then you experience the event, and guess what? You have a belief about the event. And that belief that you hold about that event gives you a feeling. But that's where the feeling came from. Feelings come from beliefs. If you're ever having a problem with a situation because of your feelings, go back to the core belief. What kind of belief would I have to hold about this situation to make me feel this way about it? Because that'll be your answer. And that'll be how you have mastery over your feelings and your beliefs. So I want to return to the camel slide. It's forward, it's the next one too. Okay. Because it's prettier to look at for the rest of the talk, give you something to entertain you. So what outer expression might occur in response to the following beliefs? First, there's never enough. The world is going to hell in a handbasket. It's cold and flu season. I never win. Life is hard. Hard work and sacrifice are necessary in order to succeed. Can you see it? Can you see what would be reflected back from holding those beliefs? Another way of looking at it is if the outer world is a mirror. The mirror is only a reflection. It faithfully represents that which is being reflected, in this case, our thoughts and beliefs. So if you don't like what you see in the mirror, if you don't like the expression on your face, you cannot put lipstick on that image in the mirror and turn the frown into a smile. You cannot use a cloth to wipe out the worry lines that you see on the face in the mirror, because the reflection is not real. It's an illusion. It represents reality, but it is not reality. And the only way to change what we see in the mirror is to change ourselves. To use our response to what we see, our response is our feelings, and let those feelings guide us to our beliefs and recognize the error belief. All this introspection can lead to some humbling discoveries. So remember, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to realize you were a jerk. To realize that you did not understand, that you were misled or misguided or mistaught. These realizations are all little t truth, and they entitle you to a lifetime membership in the human condition. And yet, there never were and never are any mistakes. Your experience was filtered through your beliefs, and beliefs change. And all choices are made for the gifts they bring. All choices are made for the gifts they bring. Changing error beliefs is easy. You may have been taught different, but you were taught wrong. It does not require hundreds of hours of prayer. It does not require reciting hundreds of affirmations. Error beliefs are instantly recognizable. And once you have the intent to look, what could I be believing that would cause this, that would cause this reflection, that would cause this feeling? They are instantly recognizable because they are not in alignment with big T truth. And the reaction that I usually have when I come across this error belief I've been holding is, why, that's just ridiculous. They just seem ridiculous. And dismissing them is the natural result of recognizing them. When you look for them, they are instantly recognizable, and the act of recognizing them is all it takes to release them, because they don't fit. Easy peasy. This is physics. This is the mechanics of reality creation. What we are calling the circle of belief is not theory, it is not philosophy, it is science. It is the science of life, of being. Practicing the circle of belief will keep you on the fast track to enlightenment. We create and interpret the events in our lives and in the world through the filter of our beliefs. Now, before all the writers went on strike, I really enjoyed watching Bill Maher's show, his weekly show called Real Time. I think it's on HBO. Bill Maher is a liberal, he's a comedian, he's a journalist. I definitely do not agree with everything he says, but I watch him anyhow. And he has a segment on his show called New Rules. And of course, it's a satire and it's funny. But I like the idea of adopting new rules, which is the same as creating a new paradigm, a new base assumption. When I was in my 20s, I worked in a software company in Chicago. And a group of us played cards during lunch. Man, you've never played cards until you've done it with a group of computer programmers. I mean, that goes for a whole lot of games. You don't expect to win very often. For months, we played spades. Every lunch hour, we played spades. Briefly, spades works like this. Spades are always trumps. The object is to collect as many spades as possible, and the first player to reach 500 points wins. One day, we decided to switch to hearts. And one might think that they are the same game, just using hearts as trumps instead of spades. But no. In hearts, the object is to avoid collecting hearts. And the first player to reach 100 points loses. And just to keep things confusing, the Queen of Spades carries the most points and should be avoided at all times. Yet both of these games are played with a standard 52-card deck of playing cards. Changing from spades to hearts almost gave me whiplash. The cards look the same. They are the same, but nothing else is. And it's the same reality of a 52-card deck. But it plays totally different when using a spade filter versus a heart filter. There are new rules. Each hand is interpreted differently. Each card has a new value. When we are approaching a paradigm shift, whether in our personal beliefs or in our cultural beliefs, which are sometimes called race mind, it may look like the same world, The TV news may sound as depressing. We may still be fat or poor. Yet none of these small t truths mean the same as they did before, because we are interpreting them through new rules. We are implementing big T truth rules. And big T truth rules include: you and everyone else are one with everything. You and everyone else are one with God. You and everyone else are powerfully creating the physical experience. You and everyone else have direct guidance from your inner divinity. There is no loss. There is only love. And thus ends the lesson. God bless you all.
thank you to Sylvia for that great songbook. Okay, and now if our ushers would please come forward for our offering. We will say this affirmation together. God is my source and nourishes me in every good and perfect way. And let's say it again, knowing it is true. God is my source and nourishes me in every good and perfect way. And so it is. You may make your gift at unitycitrusheights.org or by mail, P.O. Box 2176. And we do thank every single one of you who supports Unity Spiritual Community. We know that many of you do this online, and we do recognize your gift and know that with your gifts we bless the world. So thank you very much. Let us now bless our offering by singing our song, Divine Love Flowing Through Me. Divine love flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all I receive, and all that I am. Divine love flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all I receive, and all that I am. Freely, freely I have received, freely, freely I give. Divine love through me blesses all that I have, all that I give and receive. Freely, freely I have received, freely, freely I give. Divine love through me blesses all that I have, all that I give and receive.
So we have some announcements today. I wanted to begin by reminding you that we are having a prayer circle after a short break after the service. Is there cake?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, because we're tempting you with birthday cake. We have 2 cards that you should make sure that you sign. One is a birthday card for Sylvia because her birthday was Friday. And another is a thank you card for Bee because she has hosted the YOU, she has hosted the goddesses at her house, and every Sunday she shows up for setup and hospitality, and we do thank you. God bless you, Bee. So do plan to stay for the prayer circle and cake. A reminder that our Tuesday night class will continue through September 26th. You may drop in if you didn't sign up for the entire series. Just register on our website. It's at 6:30 on Zoom on Tuesdays. Next Sunday, we'll be meeting here, and my talk is on the history of silent unity. It is part of our preparation for World Day of Prayer. And so we'll talk about Myrtle Fillmore and how this was the first thing Unity ever did, was found the prayer ministry. I used to work at Silent Unity. I know things. Then, in the next week, Wednesday, Thursday, September 13th and 14th, World Day of Prayer is at Unity Village. You should look at your newsletter. There is a blurb on it. They do this every year, and now through the miracle of technology, we can register and participate and view all their events and to submit names to the prayer list online. So we're doing a few things to emphasize prayer and make sure you're informed and have what you need to participate with Unity Village. Then, Saturday, the 9th of September, is the monthly MUFON meeting. It's from 11 to 1:30 at Round Table Pizza in Roseville. MUFON stands for the Mutual UFO Network. They are the largest civilian reporting and investigating organization in the country. They were founded in 1969. They train their own investigators. And when there is a sighting reported or evidence of a landing, the first people that are contacted are the authorities, and the second people are MUFON. And their own investigators show up and create reports. I went to a monthly meeting recently. It was fabulous. Now, that ties in, if you'll skip past the YOU meeting, it ties into Sunday, the 17th, when we'll be having the whole service on Zoom. We're having Deb Rooney, who is the Assistant Director of Northern California MUFON, come speak. I'm going to give her the amount of time we would normally spend on a featurette to explain what it's about, and then she can stay for our sit and chat afterwards. Yeah. Sunday the 10th, happening in the middle of all this, is our monthly YOU meeting, a Sunday afternoon. We'll have more details later on that. Then, for no good reason, except that you really should know these things, Venus is now visible as the morning star. Now, what happens with Venus is about every 18 months, it goes retrograde, and this is the way the orbits of the two planets, Earth and Venus, interact. And Venus, which has become the evening star, disappears. And then, a few weeks later, it reappears as the morning star. And in the meantime, and it happened on August the 13th this year, it was between the Earth and the sun, and you couldn't see it. But then as its orbit moved and it got ahead again, it was now preceding the sun at daybreak. I went out today. I did this for you. I went out at 5 a.m. today. You know, the things I do for you. In the middle of the street with my phone, which has got that app that'll help me find things. And right now, all you can see in the sky that time of day are Jupiter, which is quite high, and Venus was stunning. I just thought it would be puny since it only got back on the 23rd. That's like 4 days ago was the first day it reappeared as the morning star. But oh boy, due east and fabulous. So tomorrow morning it rises at 4:56 a.m. But you know, you can't see anything right after it rises. It's like the sun. The sun is going to rise at 6:27 a.m. tomorrow. And so I would suggest that between 5:15 and 6 o'clock, you should go out and look, because it won't be so light. You know, the sun isn't, you know, breaking the horizon, and Venus will have risen enough that you can see it. You don't want to miss this. We are connected. We are connected to everything in the universe. If only we have eyes to see, as somebody said somewhere, if I remember right. All right, I'm done. Thank you for listening. Shall we rise and sing the peace song now?
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we.
for protection, we know that the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. God bless you all. Have a wonderful week.
We got a good thing going on around here. We got a good thing going on around here. You can see it on each and every face. There's a sweet, sweet spirit